Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 23, and it is time for my practice of the Kazakhstan GP, that is, the Sokol circuit. Now, I don't know this track very well. I think I've only done one or two videos here in the past. I know I did a Moto3 career mode here at one point, but this is all about practicing for the first round of the second season of the Ace Academy MotoGP 23 Cup. I will be honest with you, going into this one, with a little bit of practice I've done online with the Aces, I've seen Sokol Practice lap times, I've seen Jake's, I know what my competition is going to be like, and I'm worried. I'm very worried, I'm very concerned. I don't feel very confident here in Sokol. It's one of those circuits that's... it's probably going to get better the more I play it. I do like the circuit, I actually really do, but it's just fathoming it out, understanding how to tackle this track in the best way, to have momentum to flow in each of the corners, to have speed going in certain specific parts. It's going to be a bit of a learning curve with me today. So just to put things into perspective, a couple of the guys, Jake and Meerkat, as I mentioned, they're into the 131s. Currently, as I did the lap earlier, I did a 133.1. Gilzo is into the 132.2s. And I think the rest of the competition, Charlie, Sergio 23, they're around 132.5, 132.7. So, I've got a lot of work to do. So, and I'm a little bit worried because going into this video, usually I can do a quick lap and then I go, yeah, okay, feels good, let's jump onto the video, let's make a start. But my potential is that, a 133.7. That's pants. I'll be so far down the order if we don't get it right. So today, since I'm not feeling too good anyway, it might be a problem with my effort in this video, but I'm thinking, don't set the targets, don't set the goals, just practice. Practice, practice, and practice. So that's exactly what we're going to do here today. And I want to just go through something similar to what we did in Mugello, where I took you through my thought process and how to improve my speed in a circuit that you're not that confident with. So first things first for me, drop down to power setting 2, find a couple of tyres that you can run a few laps with, and just run power setting 2. I might change here and there to power setting 3 for the straights, but to be honest, I'm thinking just stay with power setting 2, because what we can effectively run is like a race situation simulation. And I've gone wide there for turn 9, that's now my first invalidation. You're going to see a lot of invalid laps here today. It's a circuit which is so easy to invalidate because you want so much. It's so easy to go into the corners expecting too much to take. Ooh, would have been probably another invalidation right there going into the right-hander for turn 11. It's a tough circuit, it's very enjoyable, but I find to get the perfect lap you need to have ultimate precision, and I don't think I've got that in me today. I'm lacking ultimate precision here in today's video. But guys, if you're enjoying the video so far and you're excited to see the rest of the content, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Certainly helps the channel grow, and it'll also help my throat get better soon. So yeah, it's I don't know how that will happen, by the way, but maybe it's just a ploy to get you to like and subscribe. But yeah, basically we've got to practice and we're going to do it here today together. So guys, thanks for supporting the channel if you are looking forward to the content in the future. So you want to give a quick shout out to Sergio23, race coordinator, venerated channel designer. Of course, he does so much for the channel, so many helmets and so many numbers for me. So this is a big shout out to Sergio23 for once again nailing another helmet design. I will be including a couple of pictures of this on the channel right now. So if you go over to the community section on the channel, you'll see the helmet in all of its glory. And as I always say, if you want one of those yourself, drop him a message on either Instagram, which will be linked, or in the Discord server where you can get him privately and ask him in there. He is only doing PC, but who knows, for in the future maybe he'll get a console as well. But anyway, back to the action, a small digression in today's long video. I do foresee this one being a lot of laps here today, and I'm just going to take my time and see what we can produce. No stress, no pressure, just take your time with it. It's easy to get frustrated in a circuit like this because also when you've seen the competition You've seen the people that, I don't want to say that you're better on, that's exactly the opposite I'm trying to explain here, but when you've been finishing ahead of someone in previous races and you see they're significantly faster, you get a bit of panic. It's all a bit of psychological war games amongst the aces, but it has happened where we've had a couple of riders, they've gone faster than me, and I'm beginning to think, oh my god, I'm going to have a disaster in Sokol. So I definitely need to up my game. I think one thing I will look forward to is the full race. Usually when we drop down to power setting 2 and all of the riders are on power option 2, I tend to find I'm able to stick with the best of the best, which is the Meerkats and the Jake. So with that in mind, I'm looking forward to the race more than the sprint. I think what I'll do is maybe towards the latter stage of today's video, I'll run some sort of sprint simulation. But I think I'll give it a proper sprint simulation in another video, because I think we're going to have to return back to the circuit. I can't get away with the Mugello practice and then just thinking, yeah, all good and done and dusted with a couple of laps there. I think this is going to require a lot of practice. And looking at the Discord server, the channel is popping up every single night with riders jumping in there, practicing and upping their game. It's quite frightening, to be honest, because I don't get the chance to practice as much as I would have wanted to. So for that reason, I'm a little bit nervous, because everyone's getting better and I seem to be at the status quo. I could be retiring to do the race director mode quicker than I thought, to be quite honest with you, but jokes aside, I'm still going to be very much pushing on and trying to compete with the best of the best when it comes to the aces. So a little bit frustrated on this lap here, because although this will be another invalid lap, it wasn't exactly fair, because I barely touched the outside of the circuit on the long straight a moment ago, yet it invalidated this lap as well. So unless I actually invalidate the lap on this one, then this is going to hurt. But as it stands, I'm still not improving. Quite late there on the brakes going into turn 6. That is a corner that, it's an enigma to me. I do not understand how to get that corner correctly. At first I thought turn 9 was my problem, but turn 6 is definitely a corner that I just don't have the confidence in. I just don't have that belief to say I can go into that corner every time with confidence, with vigour, and expect me to make that corner well, and it's just not working out for me. So back to the drawing board. I want to say a big thank you to Jake. He did send me a clip of his lap time. It's more intimidating than anything else because it's so damn fast, but I was able to pick up a few parts of understanding and knowledge to employ in my own riding here. And this one is going to hurt, actually, because we didn't once invalidate this lap. So onto the power, still utilising power setting 2 across the line. This should put us just on the precipice of getting into 132s. Not quite there, and that's an invalid lap time anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But for confidence, we're getting closer to the 132s, and I think we should be aiming for 132 mids. I think that's where I'll probably say I could happily end the video, go and get some Lemsip, and be relatively satisfied. But on to the power again, coming out to turn 5, still utilising power setting 2. I have already tested the water using power setting 3 rather than 2. And for a circuit like this, you are going to notice the difference quite a lot. So just bear that in mind when we do change over to power setting 3, which won't be too long from now. I just want to really get the feeling, and I want to clear those invalid lap times away from the screen. 3 invalid lap times within 5 laps is not good enough. That's really disappointing. So early stages, early woes. Let's get this all sorted. Let's get it out of the way with. And then maybe... Oh, I've run it deep again. Oh, good save. We didn't actually invalidate there, but it was very, very close. Down by a 1/10 of a second, or we at least had on the delta, we were up by a 1/10, but onto the left-hand side, out to turn 12. Not quite. It looked like we were going to benefit there, but we did not. So it's another 33 lap time. Still nothing to get excited about in the early stages of this race. This video, should I say. Excuse me, the throat is getting a bit sore now. I do apologise. It's just hit me, always hits me at this time of the year. Unfortunately, I do have rhinitis, which is a problem when it comes down to allergies and things like that, so I'm quite prone to all the throat and nose issues. I just invalidate the lap time again going into turn 5. So easy to do. As I mentioned earlier, you're just trying to take away as much as you can from each and every corner, and I think that's probably going against me. It seems that this track is all about being smooth and fluid, rather than just trying to push in every corner to get the best out of the motorcycle. But to be honest with you, if you cast your minds back to the Jackhammer video I did a couple of days ago with the MotoGP eSport champion, we did discuss how our different lines and how our different braking styles would have an impact, and I think this is a circuit that is prime example for that. I like the straight line braking. I don't like getting the bike unsettled and having it really wobble and weave into the corners. Where a circuit like this one, you're braking a lot on angle, and even then when you only hit the brake for a small amount and you're straight into a lean angle. Prime example, turn 1. Little bit of straight braking, but you're already onto the left hand side, backing it in, into turn 1, looking like Pecco Bagnaia. Very different style for the braking compared to what I prefer. And you're going to see this theme throughout a lot of the track here in Sokol. Now coming out to turn 3 and then back onto the right hand side. Again, the second you brake in a straight line, you're on the right hand side of the tyre, stressing the front end, pushing as much as you can. Again, turn 5, braking in a straight line there is just not going to help you progress. You've got to as well, another one, you barely brake on a straight line. You see the point I'm making with this circuit? I'd say only turn 10, or turn 9. Actually no, turn 10. Turn 9 is this one, next one. Apologies, I've not learned my corner numbers or names in this circuit as of yet. But give me time, I'll master it eventually. But this is turn 9 approaching now, so we get a little bit of straight line braking. Not bad. Into the right-hander for turn 9. Actually looking quite strong on this lap time. Pretty good so far. But then here is the only straight line braking. Nice and early. Bring it in tight. Oh, not quite tight. Ran it a little bit deep, and I'm still stuck in third gear. Far from ideal for tackling turn 10. So this... Oh, steady on. A little bit of a slide there. Have noticed that a couple of times now. Getting caught on that curb and trying to accelerate really causes the rear tyre to spin up. I'll be starting to complain like Fabio in a minute, talking about rear wheel spin with the Yamaha YZR M1. Full model name for you there, ladies and gentlemen. As we pop up on the screen to say join the Discord. If you want to join the Discord, link is in the description down below. Always happy to have more members in the chat. We only occasionally get a few idiots every now and again, but you'll be more than welcome as long as you're not a pillock. So yeah, join the group, join the chat, and we can discuss everything MotoGP and World Superbike in there as well. So we're just approaching now lap 9. I still haven't really fathomed out the best way to do this circuit yet. I feel like I'm getting better in turn 6 and turn 7 there, but not quite there yet. I'm not excited about this track yet. I like the track, but I just don't have enough confidence or belief in myself yet to really sell the Kazakhstan GP to you. I'm just sincerely hoping that the race will be very interesting on Monday. I think it will. I think it's going to come down to, simply enough, long lap penalties and track limits. Because if you bear in mind that we've had, I think, 4 invalid lap times so far. Granted, one of them was a little bit unfair just because we touched the outside of the circuit here, but that would be a track limit. And therefore, we would only have one more track limit before receiving the long lap penalty. So if you think, if we all get a long lap penalty and there's a person who doesn't, they're going to save 2.5 seconds. The long lap penalty here is not actually that bad. It's a relatively short one. And if you're not familiar where it is, it's just approaching on the left-hand side there. There it is ahead of you. As you can see, it's not very long. It's somewhat similar to Tramonto in Misano, but I'd say a little bit shorter. So it's a bit deep there for turn 5. I would say I've done a good job in turn 5, but just beginning to show a few cracks in our weaknesses in our arsenal so far. But you know what? It's coming. It's definitely coming. We're still on power setting 2. Yet to quite implement power setting 3. And as long as we're getting lap times up relatively decent, when we change over to power setting 3, we should be in our element. And then we should, in theory, be able to put a good lap time together. Because judging at it, Meerkat, Jake, going to be battling for pole position. 3rd place up for grabs. That's the final spot on the rostrum, on the provisional podium. What do you call it? Front row. Apologies, head's not in the game today. And that is a big difference maker, because if you start there in 3rd, you're on the front row, you have that extra speed. If maybe, for example, your ride height device doesn't disengage into the first corner, at least you're on the inside line there, so you might not get tagged. But I don't know. Qualifying's got to go well. Because on that 2nd row, if you've got Sergio, you've got Charlie, you've got Gilzo, you've got me, you've got Blade if he's still coming. I'm not sure if Blade will be there, but hopefully he will be. And then there's still a few other riders as well. Will, Calvin, my teammate. There's a lot of riders going to be battling for that 2nd row position. So I need to make sure I'm on that 2nd row at the least, or the 1st row. The target would be the 1st row, but the 2nd row is like the best of a bad day. So we've got to make the most of it and at least qualify on either of those 2 rows. So I've got to make sure that I can get a good power setting 3 lap time in. Also to mention that everyone will... Oh, this is a good lap coming together now. Look at that, half a second going into turn 6, 7 and 8. That's the first time I've probably nailed that with somewhat precision. And we're actually looking at a half a second improvement here. Still yet to change to power setting 3. But with power setting 2... 0.6 of a second is the split going into turn 9. I don't usually favour that wider line, but I guess I'm going to have to commit to it now. Straight line braking is upon us. Every single time we've messed this one up, we're into turn 10, but this time it's good. 0.6. Don't get caught on the curb. Do not get caught on the curb. Not this one. Oh, that's quite good. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we could be looking at a decent lap time here. Finally. It might not be the 132, but... Oh, I tell you what, I think it is. Across the line. It is. It's 132.9. Fabulous. Oh, we're going to run it way too deep, though. Oh, I thought that was it for sure. I thought we were going to go off the circuit then. We're going to pull the old Sum 41 in too deep, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't heard that song in a while. It's a joke I always make with Sacred Meerkat whenever we go online. Got into turn 4 then. This is lap 12. Let's see if we can keep that momentum going. Because so far, not too bad. Power setting 2 into the 132.9s. I'm quite confident now. I'm gaining a little bit of confidence. Hopefully not too much to make a mess. Oh, very close to the apex there. Very tight, as a matter of fact. And now back into the right and... Oh, I've messed it up. Yeah, never mind. Back to the drawing board after all. So a minor slip up there, a minor faux pas here in the Sokol circuit. But... I still feel rather confident, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start implementing power setting 3. I think we might only need to use power setting 3 for probably the straights, and then everywhere else stick to power setting 2. So let's do that for the time being. We did power setting 3 for the straight and we were ahead. We're now ahead again with power setting 2. Delta's still looking positive, it's still in the green. As long as that stays in the green, I can remain a happy man. Neck and neck with the split from the best lap time set a moment ago with exclusivity on power setting 2. Into the right hand side, it's back into power setting 3. Look at the difference in the top right corner of your screen. There it is. 0.2 gain just for using the 3rd power option. Beautiful apex there for... Oh, it's tight, but it's working out tremendously for us. As we now go on the right hand side once more for turn 8. Onto the power. Just caught the curve there, and a small wheelie will cost us valuable time. Put onto the power and then back onto the brakes for the late possible point there. You got to look over to the right hand side of your screen there. There's like an extra part of the circuit. It's just a big curb in the middle of the track, or at least on the right hand side of the track is where you need to be braking from. But onto the brakes into the tight apex of turn 10. Beautiful tight line for the 10th corner. It's getting a bit messy into turn 11. But into turn 12, just for the use of power setting 3, I don't think this has necessarily been a better lap, but it's resulting very well. And across the line, we are going to improve to a 132.6. Marvellous. Oh, I'm happy with that. That's not a bad effort at all, so... And we're still going quicker. I'm tempted to stay on power setting 3 for a bit though, and then maybe after a couple of laps we'll change back over to using power setting 2. Ooh, a bit of a slip there. No! Oh, we dropped the front. Oh, I slipped on the curb there. Catching the curb there was the worst thing we could have done. And that really hampered our chances of improving. But look at this. Almost a 1/10.5 gain just in that first split. Well, it's not quite to the split yet. We'll see that in a moment where I crashed. I need to start avoiding that curb because remember what happened just a couple of moments ago. It wasn't good. So on to the power. You know what? This has actually not been that bad so far. I can get a bit of confidence and a bit of belief now in Sokol. I'm still going to be, what, a second down on Meerkat? I'm actually not sure what lap time he's done. But I know that Jake was pretty much confident and racking up, I can't even speak, apologies, in the 131s. So we might have our work cut out for us here today. But rest assured, we'll give it our best shot. And to be honest, as long as I can do a decent lap time, that's going to be an improvement. We're within 4/10 of Gilzo, so that's a good sign. I think we're just ahead of Sergio and Charlie. But to be honest, they're in the same boat as me. They've not done much practice, so probably when they do a little bit more practice, they're just going to go straight past us again. Bit wide there for turn 10. Not as clean as that previous lap. We were really tight to the apex for the 10th corner. And I think that's going to cost us, isn't it? It is a little bit, but onto the power. Is this going to be an improvement? Oh, it's not. We're going to lose a 10th, so across the line it's a 132.702. Good effort, but that was entirely with power setting 3. No inclusion of power setting 2 at all on that lap. So if we're going to do the sprint simulation then, we're going to have to try... I don't know whether to try it with the hard front or the soft. I don't think the hard's a good choice for the sprint. But I would like to do a good couple of laps on the soft option, just to get that feel for it. Because even when the tyres are red hot, I like to continue to batter out the lap times, because if you can be competitive with a tyre that is cooked, then you should be fine for a tyre that's in that's a nice optimal temperature. So that's my logic anyway. Could be completely wrong, but it works for me, and that's all that really matters. Don't forget to subscribe, by the way, guys and girls. Don't worry, that thing won't sit on the screen too long. Oh, look at it. So away it goes. A little bit something to look at while you're riding down the straight here in Kazakhstan. I must confess, no disrespect to the circuit, but it's quite boring on the outside, isn't it? There's nothing really to talk about or to mention. It's a very bland looking track in the middle of some sort of like pit. But you know what? It'll be in MotoGP 2024 season. So let's hope that it fills out a little bit. Get all the fans involved. And let's see what this track can really look like. Because I'm sure it'll look good when it's all done and dusted and everyone is around and enjoying the festivities. But anyway, let's say 132.8. Progressively going slower. Nothing to panic about, but just keep on pushing. I feel like I'm not getting that speed into the first couple of apexes. Still, Delta's still relatively close, down by 34,000th of a second. No, too tight to the apex there for turn 4. That's probably going to cost me big. Lost about a 10th as we now go onto the right hand side of the tyre, back onto the fat hand side of the tyre, and I've just hit the ride-out device. That's a big shame. Look how much time we lost for using the ride-out device. 0.3 of a second for using the ride-out. Granted, I did touch the curb there a little bit, so it's not completely on the ride-out device, but as I say, look at this. The ride-out device coming out this corner is going to lose me. I actually gained a bit of time, did we? We did. Maybe we could start implementing using the ride-out device in that corner. Ooh, almost off the circuit. I was going to say, or at least it's certainly encouraged me to mention it. Maybe I should wait till I finish this lap. Yeah, Oh, I've dropped the front. Oh, God. Confidence was on a high then. I was really beginning to feel the circuit and really get involved with it. But unfortunately, a little bit of a hiccup there has just cost me a bit of time. Cost me a bit of confidence as well. So, as I mentioned earlier, we are now going to do what I'm going to call the sprint simulation. We're going to run nothing but power setting 3, and we're going to run the double soft option tyres. So far, it looks to be a treat. A 1/10 of a second deviation. We were up by then, but it seemed to lost a little bit as we now go to the tight apex of turn 5. Onto the power again. Still close. Delta's looking somewhat in our favour. And onto the right side, we're still neck and neck with the Delta. Oh, beautiful apex there for turn 7, but somehow... What? We're still significantly slower than we were earlier. It's balancing out a little bit now, because if you remember on our fastest lap, we did actually touch the curb on the outside, and the front wheel started to lift. So in theory, every single time we tackle that corner, we should be going quicker. Favourite part of the track coming up now, this is turn 10. Nice onto the brakes, a little bit late. It's okay, but it just puts you onto that curb. That's the problem I'm having, because onto that curb it's so slippy. And that has lost us about 0.4 of a second. Ooh, that's a big gut punch just for touching that curb. I know we did technically invalidate and crash on the last lap. Oh no, that's a 133. And we're going wide here into turn 1, so it's progressively going worse for us right now. Perhaps we should have stayed with the hard option front and possibly the soft rear. Maybe the soft option's not the best idea, but I've committed now. I don't want to end this part and then redo it again. I'd rather just keep on pushing. The lap time still looks good though, coming out of into the first split. But that front tyre is getting really warm, isn't it? It is red hot on the right hand side. Small reprieve just by going onto this small straight here. Don't downshift too much there going into turn 7. Wow, I must have been perfect on that corner early, because I seem to be losing just a significant amount of time just in that change of direction before the chicane underneath the bridge then. Down by 66,000 of a second, so we'll be eyeballing up an improvement here. Onto the right-hander for turn 9. Not very clean in that right-hander, are we? Let's hope we can get this right now onto the brakes going into turn 10. Right Alpine Star's boot getting launched out to the scenery there. Just getting caught on the curb once again to the tight curb, or once again onto the third curb. Plumbing heck. We're going to be playing Kirby in a minute. How many curbs was that? And another little bit of a curb, but unfortunately we will get back into the 122s. But it's nothing to get excited about. It's still not an improvement. It's just yielding. Just can't seem to break that barrier again. The 132.6 could be the best of the best. We're now 17 laps in, or 16. This is your 17th. We've gained time, but we're deep into turn 4. Onto the power. All that time gained is now lost in a matter of an instant. Oh, that soft option front's got nothing left, has it? This is my sprint simulation. We'll at least get 5 or 6 laps out of this soft tyre. How many have we done so far? 2? Not great. Maybe a little bit more than 2 though. 3, possibly. I'll keep on pushing nonetheless, but I don't... Oh, I've accidentally hit the ride-out device. That's costing me a little bit of time, is it? It's certainly not making me go any faster. I must confess, the Yamaha likes to wheelie a bit round this circuit. I can't say I've struggled with wheelie so much, but around this circuit I don't think anti-wheelie 5's a good idea, but probably just be a little bit better on the throttle next time around. Oh, very tight to turn 10. Is that better or worse? Seems more or less the same, to be honest. So either going for that tight apex or run it deep and then just kiss the curb. No, not bad, not bad. It's still going to be a 133 though, isn't it? I don't think we can sugarcoat that. Across the line it is. hate going back into the increment of second we've worked so hard to remove ourselves from. I don't think this soft option tyre's got much left. I don't think this was a good idea. After this lap, we'll jump across and we'll do the hard front, soft rear again, I think. Because I don't think it's materialising for us now, is it? And we're deep again into the right-hander, onto the power. It's not looking too promising. Onto the brakes, we're a little bit late, and into the right... Oh, we dropped the front again! Alright then, so I did ponder about going back to the hard front, soft rear, and you know what? I did a quick couple of corners and I thought, I didn't really give the soft options much of a chance. Let's give it another go. Let's go full soft options. I did say we'd do a sprint scenario, and well, I packed it in after a couple of laps. So this is the sprint scenario. If we choose the soft option tyres with tyre wear off, because it will be for the sprint, will the soft be a good idea? Let's find out. Let's give it, what, 7 laps? That's usually what the sprints are going to be, so that would take us to 24, 25 laps. Let's see what we can do. So far, with the softs being fully generated and fully reformed, no heat in them as of yet, we are looking at a relatively decent lap time. I know we were slow into turn 9. This could be the one in just one lap of the softs. Fresh softs, may I add. Bit deep, stay in third gear, don't drop it down second. I made that mistake earlier. Back onto the brakes here. Now we can drop to second as we keep it in tight to the apex of the 10th corner. Onto the power. It's going to be close. It's going to be very, very close here. Into the left-hand side. Brake quite early. Bit tight to the split to the apex. And I think on the power we're going to lose time, aren't we? Wow, we lost so much time. I must have nailed it earlier on. Crossed the line at 1:32.6. It might not be bad, that. It might be okay for the race. If we can consistently do 1:32s, or mid 1:32s, let's say, we'd have a good chance of at least staying on the podium. I've got to be honest, I'm a positive person. I have faith. I believe in myself. But I don't think I'll beat Sokol Meerkat or Jake this one. This is a bit much to ask. If anything, I've circled Catalunya on the calendar, or possibly Jerez. I know they're both quicker than me, more or less everywhere else, but Catalunya, I think I could stay with them there. And I think Meerkat has a glitch with the Red Bull KTM, as I just invalidated a lap there, my apologies. If I'm not mistaken, that would be my long lap penalty now, because that would be my 5th invalidation. That's not bad, considering we've on 18 laps. So let's hope we don't do that. But yeah, getting back to Sokol Meerkat, apparently he's got a problem with the Red Bull KTM. I'm going to ask you guys if any of you's had this experience as well, but apparently the rear end just keeps lifting up in some strange, unique ways in the Spanish circuits of Jerez and Catalunya. If you've experienced this while playing online with any of the bikes, let me know, because I haven't seen it before and nor has it happened to me, but I would like to see if anyone else has had that issue, and if they have, how does one fix it so Sokol Meerkat doesn't have to have that problem anymore? But out of the straight again, that's another decent lap time. It's a 1:36 again. 1:32.6, apologies again. Unfortunately, it was invalid, but for the smallest of reasons, really. I mean, we did cut the apex ever so slightly, but invalid is still invalid, so not a bad effort. I think it's coming to me, you know. It's slowly coming to me, this circuit. But I can't say what it is that really feels to make it easier. If I'm honest, it's just repetition. Usually, as I've gone on record to say many, many times before, it's not the setup that instantly makes you quicker, it's putting the effort in to get better at the game. And this is perfect example here. I'm still not using a setup. Everything is at default. Gear ratio hasn't even changed either, which I think probably should be changed. But regarding the setup, haven't touched the suspension, haven't touched the length of the bike, anything like that. Just changed tyres, jumped out there and see what we could do best. And so far, not bad. It is materialising. Lap times are beginning to compound now. That's a bit deep for turn 10. We might invalidate the lap here. Not quite, but getting caught on the curb was almost as bad. But, oh, again. Getting caught on that green part of the circuit as well is going to cost a significant amount of time. Look at that. We lost half a second just for touching those two curbs. Whoa, you're going to have to be so precise to get this one right, honestly. Full credit to the Aces so far that have managed to get better lap times than a 132.6. In fact, anyone within the 133s is doing a bloody good job, because this track is extremely difficult. It is a fantastic circuit. However, it's just difficult. And I think the only reason it's difficult is just it's all a big flow. It's like a one big momentum. You know, I was thinking about circuits that are genuinely difficult here in MotoGP 23. I was thinking the likes of the Circuit of the Americas. It's a long, arduous track. Silverstone's very much the same as well. Really long lap time. Difficult to get it right. But although this circuit's a 1:33.34 lap time, it's still very challenging to carry so much momentum, because touching one curb at any point during this lap, your lap time's gone. That's it. Maybe not touching the curb, as in like going onto the long straight, getting caught up on the curb is what I should probably say, because you can actually use the curbs for braking. And again, we're up into the final sector, and again, coming out of turn 10 is where we're losing time. That's the corner I felt great at earlier, now all of a sudden struggling. Might need that stability of the hard front. But you know what? Coming into the final couple of laps of today's video, it's still a good effort again. But this is with power setting 3. We did a 132.9 with just power setting 2. But yet you gain so much time on the straight, so where am I making mistakes? Clearly somewhere I am making a big mistake compared to our best lap time earlier. It seems that we get up every single time in the first split. We seem to be up in the fourth and the third split. How are we up in the second? That's the big question. Into the right-hander then. Neck and neck with the Delta. Losing a tenth of a second or so onto the brakes. Really tight to get this one, really hard to get this one right, but we were in the green then. We were in the Delta. Good apex there for the right-hander, for the left-hander. Now into the right. Gap is coming down. Oh, caught in the curb. That's it. That's the lap time gone. Yep, there's the 3/10. Gone. Absolutely gone. Just for touching that curb. We might be able to claw it back a bit. Delta is a bit misleading there, because we do run it deep. But unfortunately, as you can see... I'm running it too wide there. I think what it is now, I'm beginning to feel it now. I'm actually pushing so hard in that corner because I feel confident there. So I'm actually trying to compensate for the loss of the second split in the third split. That's where I'm going wrong here. So for the last couple of laps then, this is going to come to bring my sprint... I can't even think what you call it now. Simulation, apologies. Sprint simulation to a close. And the lap times have been not bad. Got back into the 132.6s twice. 132.7 in there as well. But two lone 133 lap times are not going to cut it. Bit deep there for turn 5. I don't think we're going to improve on this lap either. This has been a challenging one. I think come Monday, I'll probably have a few more practice sessions under my belt. And of course a little probably practice that day as well, just before the race. Hopefully I can be looking at a decent performance. But to be honest with you, as long as the content's good and you guys enjoy watching, that's all that really matters to me. I don't need to win, I don't need to finish last. As long as I put on a show for the Aces, I'm happy. But I would really like to get a win. It's been a long time since I got a victory now in a DrAce Academy Cup. Last victory coming in UMC in the Yamaha R7 Cup. Cast your minds back to that, and that was that was Ride 5. Before then, it had been a while as well. I think the last one before then was probably the Super Veloce. I don't think I actually ever won a race in the Super Veloce. I know I won on the Moto Guzzi though. I won the championship in that one, or our DrAce Cup. But here we go then. Lap number 24 133 is another 133.2. Can lap 24 be our saving grace? The last one of today's video to conclude our sprint simulation. Is it going to be good? You know what? It looks good so far. When the pressure's on, we deliver. And I've gone wide. We don't deliver. It must be Sunday. It must be Sunday because we don't deliver. I don't know. But it's not going right. Oh, no. It's slipping away. It's not going to be good. Can we claw it all back? I really don't feel like I've got that corner nailed, but it looks decent when we tackle it that way. And into the right hand side for turn 8. 3.5. 3/10. It's not going to be an improvement. I really wanted to end the video on a high. We'll come back. We'll definitely come back to this at some point. Although it's been a challenge, and my throat is killing me, I've still enjoyed today's video, so I hope you guys did as well. But on to the brakes then for the final time of asking. In today's video, we've messed it up. My beloved turn 10. It's all gone wrong. We need the hard option front. Tried the mediums, they were awful. So for sprint race, Monday, I'll probably rock the hard front and soft rear. So guys and girls, let's get across the line to conclude our session here today. So those are my lap times on screen. As you can see, wow, that first lap time there, the one at the top of the pile there, ideal lap was a 1:32.101. So we can find a good 0.5 of a second somewhere on this circuit. And those are my lap times that were invalid as well. Not bad considering how many lap times we actually did, but not great either. And to be honest, very sporadic, those lap times as well. There's still room for a massive improvement here in Sokol. So for that reason, I'm looking forward to coming back here and hopefully right the wrongs that we've done here in Kazakhstan. But guys, thanks for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for staying for this duration as well. I appreciate that. Well guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.